The opinions expressed on this program are those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect those of Cable 14, its sponsors, or its shareholders, Cogeco Cable, Shaw Cable, and Source Cable Limited.
Welcome to another episode of Our City. I'm your host, Martinus Geleynse. Today, joining me in studio is Mark Cripps, as a familiar name in Hamilton. And today, Mark's involved with a bit of a different project for media and for Hamilton in general. So, Mark, welcome to the program.
Thanks, Martin. I appreciate the time and you having me on the show.
Absolutely. Well, you're doing something really interesting here. So, first of all, maybe tell us what it is that you're doing, and then tell us how you got involved with this.
So we're launching in January. We're launching a what's called YourHamiltonBiz.com. It's an online journal for business news, business-specific news, actionable. We like to talk about it as intelligence, business information that business people can use to help them, make more money, learn about what's going on in the community. I also like the fact that I see this as a very strong economic development tool for Hamilton. This is all about Hamilton. It's specific to this community, and I'm working for, this is a Torstar product coming out of Toronto, making a significant investment in launching this online business journal. It's really a niche market that's not being covered that extensively right now, but I'd like to talk about it in a look at it, have people look at it in a non-traditional sense. This isn't about your everyday, business news that you would see in other products, print products and on television, radio. This is about mining for those stories, for that information that people will need to know, will want to know, and if they're not getting this information, they're going to want to get it because their competitors might be getting an advantage over them by having this information. So I got involved. I was recently working for Minister Ted McMeekin as his press secretary. I had a great time. I really enjoyed that role. And Torstar approached me about this project. And as a journalist by trade, as somebody who's worked in journalism for his entire life, I'm extremely excited about this model because that's what it's all about. It's about journalism. This isn't about having to sell advertising. It'll be a subscription-based service. Obviously, there are that's the business model. But this is about journalism. We're going to have 6 dedicated journalists covering business news in Hamilton every single day and delivering that to our subscribers every night at 6 p.m.
So this is not a print product. There is no paper involved in this whatsoever. This is only online. Now, are there regular briefings that go to subscribers, or is this a site they have to log into? What will it look like when it's up?
So it's made to be as delivered to your personal handheld device. That's really our main contact with our subscribers. So we'll deliver a feed to them every night via email to their personal device, and basically they can log on. They don't have to log on. They can see the stories through the links, and if they want to go through the traditional site, they can also go on to the actual website. But I think most people will be reading this content through their iPhone, BlackBerry, Android device, or iPad, those types of devices. That's how it's delivered. No paper products used at all. No trees will be killed in the making of this business journal.
And no, this will be free for a little while, I understand.
Yeah,
I think launch.
Yeah, I think we obviously have to deliver a product to make people want to subscribe. So we're going to be obviously building that loyalty, hopefully through free subscriptions and having people apply for a free subscription. It's just an email address. No conditions, and then making contact with them during the subscription period, to talk to them about, are we delivering? Are you finding this content useful? What could we be doing better? What are we missing out on? This model will be built a lot by our subscription base and those that who are interested in seeing Hamilton's business community covered in a way that it should be covered. And This community is, just continues to have such wonderful things ahead of it and happening right now. And I just think it's a great time to be getting into this.
So this, would you say that this signals a bit of a turn in journalism and news delivery on the whole? I mean, in Hamilton, we're seeing a little bit of this now with the new CBC digital service here in Hamilton. Personally, I run a print journal, but we're small, we're highly targeted. There seems to be a real shift going on in the landscape of the press here in Hamilton. How does this maybe lead the pack in a new direction?
Well, what you do is really similar in a lot of ways to what we do. I think the niche marketing of journalism is really the new direction. The problem is the media has, it's evolved in this digital age to the point where, the business model has only survived by cost cutting. And we live in a world where people, want everything for free. Unfortunately, we need to remind, readers and everyone out there that, journalism has a price. If you want good journalism, the major media outlets are making investments in hiring reporters and paying, good salaries to produce this content. And so what we've seen is that there's really not much left in terms of cutting the model. So the unified front of paywalls right now is a really bold and I think promising move for the future of journalism, because somebody needs to pay for this information, and it's good for democracy, right? We need trained, skilled journalists that can mine this content. So what excites me about this project is that we're making a significant investment in journalism in Hamilton. We're really targeting as many local journalists as we can, obviously, and it's a great shift in terms of seeing journalism now come back to the front of the pack. This isn't driven by advertising line rates and advertising percentages. This is driven by the desire to provide content to a loyal and niche subscription base that they can use, that they will respect, and that they can help them in their business lives.
Mm-hmm. This is definitely a new model, and that's very exciting. So we're glad that you're able to join us today. Thank you for your time. As people want to see, if they go to the address yourhamiltonbiz.com, at the moment there's nothing there. The landing page is coming up December 14th, I believe, and then the actual site will go live in the new year, January 4th or around there. So Mark, again, thank you so much for joining us on the program today. When we come back, we'll be talking with Graham Cubitt of the Mustard Seed, Hamilton's cooperative grocery. Welcome back to Our City. I'm your host, Martinus Geleynse. We're here for our second segment to talk with Graham Cubitt, who is president of the board of what is called the Mustard Seed, and this is Hamilton's cooperative grocery. So Graham, welcome to the program.
Thanks very much, Martinus.
Now, could you tell us what is the Mustard Seed?
Sure. Well, we are Hamilton's first nonprofit grocery store. We're a cooperative grocery store. We're based on the cooperative model, obviously, as a member-owned corporation looking to benefit our members by prioritizing wholesome and local food.
Now, do you have a current location, or is this something that's just coming together? What stage of the process are we at right now?
Right. Well, we're in the planning stage right now, so we don't have a location just yet. But last Thursday, we launched our membership drive. We hope to have 800 members by the time we open in May 2013. So we're about 6 months away from opening, and we're just at the stage of recruiting members to become part of the co-op. The membership drive was last Thursday, as I mentioned, and we had an awesome response. About 300 people came out to Central Library, and we already have more than 150 households signed up. So our target is 800 members by the time we open in May, and we think we're well on track for that.
It's only Monday today, so it sounds like you're well on your way. If you keep at this pace, you might build a huge new grocery store in the downtown core, as we've been hearing about.
Yes.
Well, congratulations on the success of that. That's really fantastic. Now, Tell us a little bit about this grocery store. What will it look like? How big will it be? What can we expect to see inside of it?
Sure. Well, we hope it to be a full-service grocery store. By that we mean not just produce, not just meats, but full line of grocery items, household products, all the things that you really need when you go to a grocery store. It's going to be different, though, than the big chain grocery stores. We won't be offering 50,000 different products. The huge selection that's available at some of the big stores, which may be 50,000 square feet. We're probably going to be more in the 3,000 to 5,000 square feet. So more of a familiar sort of neighborhood scaled shopping experience. Something where when you walk in the door, you know where to find the items you're looking for. You know how to get around the store and feel really familiar and comfortable there. A lot of the co-ops we've visited, and we've visited about 30 now, have a sense of community about them where you know the people you're running into. It's a place where you can learn about food issues, you can connect to farmers or other producers, and there's a real sense of commonality in the shopping experience, so it's not just pure retail. So we're hoping that that's the kind of grocery store we can create here, a place where people can buy their groceries, obviously, but also have a real sense of connecting around food issues. We run into a lot of people who are interested in eating better. They're concerned about their health. Maybe they've had an illness or something. Maybe they've got new kids and they want to feed their kids well. But they don't always know where to start. And sometimes people are busy nowadays, and it takes a lot of research to find local producers, to understand what it is that's in the food we eat and how it's made. Some of the food safety issues people have concerns about. And the co-op, we really feel, is going to be a place where a lot of those questions and answers can be brought together.
So this will be a focus on local, healthy, organic food, a lot of produce as well. Where will we be seeing this grocery store? Where are the areas you're looking to set up?
Well, we're going to be downtown Hamilton. We don't have exact location just yet. Now that we have some cash in the bank, so to speak, from our membership drive, we'll be able to actually approach some landlords that we have in mind and say, what deals can we do? We don't have a location just yet, but we should be able to nail something down in the next month or two.
So Hamilton is in fact getting 2 grocery stores downtown. On a recent show, we visited the Jackson Square location of Nations Fresh, and now with the mustard seed coming as well, we're going to go from nothing to having options. That's very exciting.
It is a good thing, yeah.
Absolutely. And now explain to me where this idea came from. Was this born out of the fact that we didn't have any grocery store at all in the downtown, or what motivated the foundation of the mustard seed? It
goes a little bit further back than that. My wife and I have been involved with food issues in Hamilton for about 8 years since we moved here, whether it's community gardening or CSA programs, Good Food Box, a lot of different food-related interests. We discovered the idea of a co-op grocery store when we were visiting a friend in Vermont. Vermont has a population of 650,000 and 14 co-op grocery stores. We thought, wow, Hamilton needs something like this. And it turns out a lot of other people had the same idea. Co-ops were more popular in Ontario maybe in the 70s, 1980s. There haven't been many in recent years, and the nearest to Hamilton is about 60 kilometers away in Toronto. So from everybody we talked to, there seemed to be an interest in some alternative kind of grocery store that could offer products that were more in line with people's values. So whether it was organic, whether it was sustainably grown, ethical treatment for animals, those sorts of things that weren't always available in some of the commercial or mainstream food retailers. So after maybe about a year of conversations with a lot of different people, a few of us got together this spring and said, okay, we can do something about this. And since May, we've been working on the idea quite vigorously. So it's an old idea in a new context for Hamilton.
And you mentioned you're in the membership drive stage of this process. So what's the cost of becoming a member, and what is the benefit then of being a member of the Mustard Seed?
Sure. Well, as a co-op, it's a member-owned corporation. So the first benefit is that you actually, as a member, have a democratic voice in the operations of the business on an equal footing with all other members. So one vote, one share, one vote. Other benefits for members will be discounts in the store, special ordering privileges, those sorts of things. If we have events or educational sessions, getting a better price on those. It's $100 for a household membership. So it represents a reasonable investment in the business for many households. But also we think that if you're a regular shopper there, you'll actually make that back within the first year without a problem. But it's also a lifetime membership in the sense that you don't have to repay every year like some membership-based clubs. And if you move or you decide it's not for you, you can get that share refunded as well.
Well, this is exciting. So Hamilton is actually getting 2 grocery stores, and for $100 one-time fee, people can join the Mustard Seed Co-op and become a member of their own local grocery store. Graham, thank you so much for joining us today on the show. We have a board coming up in just a minute telling people where they can find you online and how they can get involved with this exciting initiative. Thank you again for joining us. When we come back, we're going to have Glen Brown of Greater Hamilton Musician and Greater Hamilton Musician Magazine, a brand new publication bringing together the musicians of the Bay City. Welcome back to Our City. I'm your host, Martinus Geleynse, and right now I'm in studio with Glen Brown. Now, Glen has started a project called Greater Hamilton Musician, and we're here to talk about what that is and the magazine that he's now starting up as well. So, Glen, welcome to the program.
Yep, it's good to be here.
Now, Glen, tell us a little bit about Greater Hamilton Musician. What exactly is it?
Well, it's 2 things. It's an effort, first of all, in general, to pull together the musicians from the Greater Hamilton area, so which would include Burlington, Brantford, the area of Hamilton, and even out into Oakville in some situations. But also there's the idea of greater musician built into that, which in my opinion is something that's really, we've got a lot of space and a lot of ways that we can work in that direction as musicians to get more connected to each other in this Hamilton area.
So it's a bit of a, I know it is a website for sure, and I think the address should be on the screen below your name when you do show up on camera. But this website then, it serves as a bit of a hub. I know you have listings on the website of concerts, of events, of all sorts of musical things that are happening in town, and a bit of a directory even. But now explain the second part of that, because it's Greater Hamilton Musician Annual, or a magazine.
Well, yeah, as we've been writing over the past 7-8 months, I've been talking to lots of local musicians, interviewing them, and it's become obvious that there's a lot of really good content that's worth publishing. So back in around the summertime, I determined that we had enough material to actually put it in print in magazine format, and so we were able to get some sponsorship and a lot of the local music tradespeople and businesses interested. And so we've actually put together the Musicians Annual, which will be published in a couple of weeks in December. And yeah, it's basically, it's a gift to the local musicians community. It's, in my opinion, it's like a souvenir that will contain local news stories that they wouldn't be able to find anywhere else, really.
It's really of, by, and for the Greater Hamilton musical community, so various studio owners and musicians. What sorts of articles can we look forward to in this publication? What sort of content do you have?
Well, I've been interviewing a number of local musicians. I've had a great chance to sit down with Steve Strongman back in July, chatted with him about his time in Mont Tremblant at the International Jazz Festival. I also was able to talk to my niece, who is the sister of John Harvey from Monster Truck, and she interviewed her own brother, which was interesting. and
cool.
put together an article behind the scenes with Harvey from Monster Truck. Been talking to different venue operators, seeing what their side of the business looks like. And another big part of it has been providing a service to lots of local bands where I would review their performances. And I find a lot of musicians really are very open to the idea of having someone who is a musician and who has musical sensibilities to write and respond about their performance. And it's part of being a good audience. I think every musician really wants to know what people think and to have an objective, or as objective as possible, type of response. They want to see that in print. And that's a large part of it. The reviews, interviews, and yeah.
Yeah, and now how did you get involved in this yourself? Because you're a teacher, correct?
That's right. I've been teaching music in Hamilton since 1992 in the public school system. And I've been working with the middle school aged kids, and also now presently with primary students, but always involved in music. And on the side, as well as teaching the music in the classroom, I've been performing as a drummer. I'm playing in a 5-piece band right now, and always involved, whether it's going to concerts or going to a friend's concert. And the musical community to me is something that's part of my life. It's part of my family. And so it was a natural step for me to take this and combine it with my writing abilities and my writing hobby, and to turn it into something that's a little bit more tangible and that hopefully will benefit a lot of people around.
It's an exciting thing about Hamilton when people, you ask that question all the time, how did you get into this? And people often say, well, I really like it, or this is my passion. And the exciting thing about Hamiltonians is they don't just stop there, they then realize it. They achieve something with it. They turn their passion into something physical and something that maybe brings the community together in another way. So this is coming out mid-December, you said. Now there is a launch party that I'm aware of that you're holding for the launch of Greater Hamilton Musician, the Musicians Annual. Could you tell us a bit about that?
Yeah, we're pretty excited about that. We've got a storefront up on James North, just up from the Armories, and it's a great spot. Nice big front windows. We're going to have some live entertainment. Some musician friends of mine come in and provide the music. We have a duo, jazz guitar and vocal duo called Room for Two, and they'll be entertaining starting at 7 o'clock. And then around 9 o'clock we'll have a ceremony where we uncrate the boxes and do the big reveal of our magazine and have them available to hand out, say some thank yous. And then after that, local singer-songwriter Dan Medikovich has been so excited. He's going to be performing at 9, shortly after 9 until about 11. And if you've heard any of Dan's songs, lots of variety, great melodies, great feel. And
so it's going to be a really cool evening of really bringing together musicians and coinciding with Art Crawl. So it should be a big crowd. Yeah. We're actually going to bring up on the screen right now some of the information about this party. So hopefully we'll see you all there. Well, that's been our show this week. I want to thank Glen very much for joining me on the program, and I want to thank our other guests as well, Mark Cripps and Graham Cubitt from the Mustard Seed. It's an exciting time to be in Hamilton, and it's always exciting to get on the air and talk about the new stuff that's happening, the new projects of people turning their passions into realities here and moving the city forward. We'll see you again on December 17th. Until then, have a good night.